Dala found out that Blessed is actually Sanka's sister, Darlene Mary. He did a background check after finding the bugs in the apartment, and Tubbs followed her and saw her going to a fancy hotel in Rosebank. And Linda thinks that Darlene needs to pick up and run because the Sindanas are going to hurt her. Fufu found the pregnancy test and confronted Kgalalelo, but Kgalalelo doesn't want to keep the baby. Poor Gasa, Gideon is now falling in love with Bugosa again, and Boko went fishing with his dad and actually enjoyed it. Hi, welcome to my channel. Here's an update on Scandal. So Taps actually followed Darlene Blessed and saw her going into a fancy hotel in Rosebank. Now they're wondering, how does a cleaner afford a fancy boutique hotel in Rosebank? And now they're thinking, maybe Taps thinks that maybe she's an undercover cop because Cohen would like to see them in prison. But Mdala's like, no, man, I don't think so, because he's got a contact at the police station who told him that his case has not been reopened. And then as they're talking, trying to understand what's going on, Tlhogo phones Mdala and tells him to come home quickly because there's something that you found in the apartment. Mdala goes home and then Tlhogo shows her the bags that Dinsolo found in the apartment. Mdala was furious, thinking, where did you find these? What's happening? Udikra guy. Ari Dinsolo found them in the apartment. So now Mdala crashed them on the floor and said with no doubt that it is actually Blessed. Now Mdala is furious, thinking, let me find out, let me do a background check, let me run a background check on this lady. This Blessed girl, Kimang. She runs, she puts a picture on a search engine, comes up, Pila. Now, this girl is not Blessed. Pila, this girl, her real name is Darlene Mary, and Darlene Mary is Sanka's sister. Yo, they were so scared. Tlhogo was shaking because if Blessed knows the Sindanas are behind Sanka's death, why is she quiet? And then now Mdala is thinking, but how does she know about us if also Sanka? Like, how did she find out? Now they want to link who could have told her the information. And then Tlhogo says it might have been simple because Tlhogo was the last model that Sanka worked with, and also her affair with Sanka was public. So maybe she connected the dots. But now Mdala is worried if she knows that we did this to Sanka, why has she not said anything about it? Why has she not confronted us? Why is she not acting on it? Now this puts them in a very awkward position because why is she quiet? Why is she not saying anything? And then now Mdala must act. He says that they need to do the same thing that they did with Sanka. Meaning that Mdala, because that's how Mdala tells. Like if someone is a threat to him, Mdala wa Musata. Now he's wondering, what exactly did she hear? Because she bugged us. Did we talk about the coffin? Did we talk about Sanka? Ari Tlhogo thinks maybe when we spoke about Linda, maybe something, she might have caught something there. And then Mdala thinks, no, Musata, like there's no way, because this girl is going to ruin us. And then Blessed at a fancy boutique hotel in Rosebank, just after a shower, she comes to wanting to listen to the bugs again, only to realize the bugs have been disconnected, they've been destroyed, there's no audio coming out. And then she phones Ulinda, telling him that, hey, I think the bugs have been found because I can't get any audio from them. Linda thinks, oh no, you're in trouble. You need to, I suggest that you pick up and run. But Darlene does not want to leave immediately. She says that she is close to nailing them and says that she's not leaving. But saying that, but Ulinda's like, they already know someone is spying on them. And if they know, they're going to find out soon enough who is this person. And knowing the Sandanes, I know what happens to people who cross the Sandanes. Can you please pay me my money, the rest of my money? Because, and now Darlene's like, why are you so keen to get your money? Are you afraid that something's going to happen to me? But the honest truth is that Linda knows what happens to people who cross Mdala. So obviously, it means that Blessed or this Darlene lady is on the list. Mdala, obviously, once he knows, there's no way he's gonna let her leave. And then, but Darlene is determined to carry this through and says that he will pay him back. He will pay him his money. And Lord, he does not need to worry. This Darlene lady. And then Bridget is busy, man, doing laundry, only to come across pregnancy test, Kgalalelo, a positive pregnancy test. Now she's thinking, oh my word, so this is what has been bothering this girl this whole time. She goes to her room to confront him. Monster the pregnancy test. This is what you were calling PMSing when. I don't know, this is invasion of privacy. Why are you going through my things? Are you when Kgalalelo pregnant when? Kgalalelo like, no man, don't be invading my privacy. And then now what let's see Bridget? Papa ngwana ke mang, tata ke mang. Into two because Victor said you guys were arguing. And then he says, Kgalalelo, I'd never expected you to be having unprotected sex because why are you doing this? I expected you to do better. Like, how can you be so irresponsible and all that? Kgalalelo is like, yo, we were both drunk. It only happened once. It was weeks ago and I was in a bed space. It was that party where this whole Mpumi saga happened. And then Bridget says, I expected a better from you because I think Kgalalelo has always portrayed this well-behaved, responsible girl. And says, oh, Bridget, oh, held up. Emanyana ka lecture, you are not my mother. Suwana mama. Yo, she called her off very quickly. Now Bridget is like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to judge you. Obviously Bridget Liana is shocked because Khalia has always been like portrayed the whole responsible girl vibes. And then says, alright, I've also made some stupid decisions, but then because Bridget Liana fell pregnant very young when she had juniorly put, not even 1, 2. Now her parents were there for her and says, well, you need to come clean and tell Papa how is going to be there for you. You also need to tell the boyfriend, he's like, no, they don't need to know. I'm not ready to be a mother. I don't think I want to I can't keep this child. Kgalalelo doesn't want this baby, Claire. That's why she's been doing those abortion clinics online. And now Tutugo talks to Mtunzi. They're talking about this whole thing when Mtunzi went to pay damages Lomo, and they welcomed him with warm hands, and he's happy that everything went well and that they're happy about the bundle of joy Ozai. But now Mtunzi realizes something is off with Tutugo. And then Tutugo confided to Mtunzi, yo, there's this girl I've been seeing, but suddenly she's just ghosted me and she's just off. Mtunzi is 8 years. Umjolo wena malanga is complicated. But it needs patience, man. As to have done everything I could, as it needs patience. But look at me and your mom. Like things started rocky, but bona manjwa so nobile were good. Ati, so man, are you saying that even Uncle Dinangwe, umkhulu Dinangwe, umkhulu Dinangwe kwamungel? Ati, yeah, it was a bit tricky, but we spoke, and they want me to have my own source of income and be a provider, and not depend ku imali engiyenza eselondri. Laundromat. Now the like, did you tell them the man does not even come to it, goes to Umam at, yeah, but I still need to be a man, hustle, have my own hustle and provide. And then Shampoo Gasa has been missing Kiribon because Kiribon has been spending all her time with Ubukosi and this whole Ubukosi thing. Now Gasa is feeling a bit left out because he's not even having time, no Kiriboni. But Kiribon is very supportive, saying he even spoke, Gasa is very supportive and even spoke to Boko to give his father a chance. Kiribon was happy about that, saying Gasa is so supportive of this whole thing. And Padu Kiribon is now confused because she's got feelings for Bukosi, and she says that the more time they spend together, it's igniting a spark, like it's taking them back to the olden days. Now Tiri wants to know, so what's going to happen to Ugas? Atukidwe, no man, I love Ugas. I really love Ugas. I wouldn't want to hurt him. I'm just wondering if it's possible to love both men at the same time. Yeah, Gideon, what are you doing? Are you trying to play with fire? I wonder if Bukosi does not have a wife back home, because he did say he's got 2 daughters. So now, Patukiriboni can't help wonder how her life would have turned out in Obukosi, and we can't blame her because their life is just taken away from them. Not that Itlulebone, Mama Hai just intervened, And then Poet went fishing with his dad and actually enjoyed it. He came home with a fish that they're actually going to cook for dinner. They were really happy thing, and to think that he did not want to do it. Says Mama Hai happy because he's excited because he's finally going to eat. Just saying what you should have seen. Gabi akari busy. Afisha like, today I'm going to eat the Joshua Kidiboni. But hey, hold up. You can't be here while Matuel Abua because she's not comfortable being with you in the same house. But Poko was like, no, nonsense, man. This whole thing needs to end. Papa can sit here and have dinner. Poko was like, no, we had a good day. Let's not ruin it with petty things. He decided to leave. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next one. Bye.